Hey Terraria fans, welcome back to another speed build video, and this is a special one because this thing drove me absolutely crazy. And if you're having a little difficulty understanding why, it's because I made a very large tree, and while that may seem pretty basic for some of you, for me, it can be a little bit challenging. And the challenge here was that I'm building this in the ether biome, one that I created myself manually, because that's always fun, and one that's a little bit challenging because of the shape and the design of the tree, as well as the color and the gradient that I was trying to create. And by the way, I kind of gave up on the gradient idea, just wasn't really working out the way I wanted to, and I spent a ton of time trying to figure out what colors I wanted to use, and ultimately the final product is quite nice, but the whole process was not the most fun. But hopefully guys, by watching this video, you will be able to see how I put this together, which will help you make your own version and hopefully save you a ton of time. Now guys, if you do want to see me actually, struggle to build an ether tree like I did in this case, you can catch me live on Twitch, guys. Link is down below. Additionally, if you're enjoying any of the content here on the channel, guys, feel free to hit the like, the subscribe, or the little dinner bell thingy, so you can know when the next video hits the old YouTube universe. Now with all that said, guys, let's get to the build, shall we? All right, so with our build done, guys, as promised at the beginning of this video, I'm going to cover some of the materials that you're going to need to make your own version of this build. Now, as you can imagine, guys, you'll maybe want to pause here to get a slightly closer look at some of the materials, but generally we're using a lot of foliage and tree-related items, so you're going to see a lot of strange plants, you're going to see some blueberries, you're going to see some vine rope, and you're also going to see a lot of different walls as they relate to trees. So that's going to be living wall, some crimson scab wall, and some hallowed shard wall. Now, again, guys, with a build like this, we also needed a couple of other things, and that's going to be in and around the rubble maker. So we did use some grass seeds and some jungle seeds, which I do see I'm forgetting to have added here, and that's going to add a lot of additional foliage to the build, and it looks pretty interesting. Now, you'll also notice that I used some echo wall, and this was actually just to make an area or a wall where I could then hang up the item frames, which I then painted as shadow paint. And this is just so that they blend into the background. Now, from a unique standpoint, I did actually take advantage of the Ethereum wall and the Ethereum brick wall. Now, I don't necessarily love the way they look. I wanted to use this for the little portal that we made, and I went with a pink paint, and you also can see that we also use some aluminum coating, and this was really to brighten everything up because we are underground and everything is rather dark, particularly when you have the shimmer there that creates the aether biome background. So just something to keep in mind when you're trying to make something similar. But yeah, that basically covers all of the materials that I used in this build. Again, I encourage you to pause the video here if you're trying to get a closer look. And if you have any questions, guys, just feel free to leave a comment down below and I'm happy to answer. With that said, let's move on to the rest of the video. All right, guys, so there you are. There is our ether tree done. I think it looks really cool. Now, one of the challenges here, like I said, was trying to figure out how to make the colors kind of work for me. It wasn't really the best time, but I think I really like the way the final product turned out. One of the most interesting features about this build is that in the different sections of the tree, you'll see that I actually use coins. I believe there could be gold coins, if I'm not mistaken, painted the same shade of purple, and it just looks really nice. It kind of adds some depth and some intricacies to the build. So if you're ever building a different style tree, kind of like I am, try using coins. It looks pretty good. And one more tip, guys, is if you're going to build this, of course, yes, you're going to need the rubble maker, but I'd actually recommend you just build this in the ether biome. That's my biggest tip. Do not build your own version or your own biome like I did. It added a whole extra lot of work, though it does look good and it's a little bit more kind of tightly wound around the tree. I think you'd be better just finding the actual proper ether biome and just building there directly. Anyways, with all that said, guys, thank you so much for watching until the end of this video. And as always, thumbs if you liked it, subs if you loved it. We will see you in the next one.